The objective of this video is to discuss trigonometric identities. As we know, there are six trigonometric ratios: sine, cosine, tangent, cotangent, secant, and cosecant. Now, for some specific angles like 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree, and so on, we have got the values of these trigonometric ratios, and we can find it out using the geometry of triangles. But suppose we have been asked to find out the value of sine 15 degree. How do you find out? Using geometry of triangles may not work out so easily. So then we take the help of trigonometric identities. Trigonometric identity is nothing but expressing sum and differences of angles into their individual components. Now there are many trigonometric identities. Remembering all of them may be difficult. So what we are going to do in this video is to derive the basic two trigonometric identities from the scratch and remember those, and using those we can find out the rest of the trigonometric identities. Now if you are a student of class 11th or 12th, if mathematics is one of the core subjects, or you are appearing for JEE Main or JEE Advanced, or for that matter any competitive exam, please watch this video, because when you go through this video you will remember how to detect the trigonometric identities very easily, and this will be coming very handy during the exam. There are some prerequisites for going further into this video. Number one is that you have to be conversant with the angles, how angles are measured, different system for measuring like degree and radian and their relationship. Number two is that you have to know the definition of the trigonometric ratios, how sine is defined, how cos is defined, and so on. Number three is that you have to remember the values and the signs of the trigonometric ratios in the quadrant. Let me explain that. This is the quadrant. This is called first quadrant. This is y-axis. This is x-axis. So this is the direction of x-axis. X is positive on this side and y is positive on this side. And so all trigonometric ratios are positive into the first quadrant. This is called the first quadrant. Sine and cosecant are positive into the second quadrant. Rest all are negative. In the third quadrant, tan and cot are positive. Rest all are negative. In the fourth quadrant, cos and secant are positive. Rest are negative. Just to remember at go. Remember this ASTC. A stands for all, A stands for sine, T stands for tan, and C stands for cos. So if you remember ASTC, you will remember that which ratios are positive and negative in the respective quadrants. So once you are conversant with these basic three things, one is the angle, second is the trigonometric ratio definitions, and third is the values and signs of the trigonometric ratios in different quadrant. You are ready to go for the next topic, that is the trigonometric identities. We'll develop two basic identities. From there we'll go to the identities, how we'll show that how using these two identities we can work out the identities of others. The first basic trigonometric identity is sine of minus x and cos of x. Now what is sine of minus x? What we will do is we will draw a unit circle. Unit circle means the radius is 1 unit. We make this angle as x. This angle is x. X is going towards the anti-clockwise direction, and we will also make same angle which is going clockwise. Now when angle goes clockwise, it is negative. So if this is x is positive, this will be negative. Now we know sin x is defined as the opposite side divided by hypotenuse, that is AC divided by OA. So this sin x is defined as AC divided by OA. Now we know this is a unit circle, so OA is 1, so sin x is AC. Now what is sin minus x? Sin minus x is BC by OB. Right? So BC by OB, OB is again 1, so it becomes BC. Now you see these two triangles, OAC, this triangle, OAC, this triangle, and OBC, this triangle. OA is equal to OB and OC is common, and this angle is equal to this angle. So triangle OAC is equivalent to triangle OBC. So from here we can find out BC is equal to the length of BC is equal to length of AC. So, but you see in this coordinate system, BC is on the opposite side of it. That means if AC is positive, BC will be negative. So sin minus x is equal to BC by OB is equal to BC, which is minus of AC. That means minus of sin x. So sin minus x is equal to minus sin x. This is identity number 1. Similarly, if you see cos minus x will be OC by OD, OC by OB, and cos x will also be OC by OA, because OC, the base will be same. So the cosine of an angle is the adjacent side, that is this side, divided by the hypotenuse. So this is a common. So cos minus x is equal to cos x. So these are the two basic identity. Sin of minus x is equal to minus sin x, and cos of minus x is equal to cos of x. Right? So the next identity function, which is the basics for the sum and difference of any other identity function, is cos A plus B. So the sum of A plus B, cos of A plus B is how much? To do that, let us do this diagram. First, let us draw a unit circle. Unit circle means the radius is 1. This is the y-axis, this is the x-axis. So, let us draw an angle A in the anti-clockwise direction, that is positive A. And then also add to this A is B. So, this angle will be A plus B. Now let us say this angle A, this side intersects the circle at P1. Now the coordinates of P1 will be this is nothing but cos A, the x coordinate will be cos A, and y coordinate will be sin A. So this will be the coordinate of P1. Similarly, the coordinate of P2 will be cos of A plus B, and this y coordinate will be sin of A plus B. Right? Now let us draw an angle B in the anti-clockwise so that it becomes minus B. Now let us see this intersects the circle at point P3. Now the coordinates of P3 will be cos B and minus sin B, because earlier in the first basic identity we found out that sin of minus x is equal to minus sin x. So since it is sin of minus b, it will be minus sin b, and cos of minus x is cos x, so it will be cos b. So the coordinate of P3 is cos b minus sin b. This is the x coordinate, this is the y coordinate. and let P4 be the point where the circle touches the x-axis. The coordinate of P4 will be 1 and 0, because this is unit, x coordinate is 1 and y coordinate is 0 here. Now look at this triangle OP24. OP24. That means OP2P4. This triangle, and this triangle OP1P3. These two triangles. Now these are all one unit, because this is part of the unit circle. So these two sides are equal to these sides, and this angle is A plus B, and this angle is also A plus B. That means triangle OP2P4 is equivalent to triangle OP1P3. So triangle OP2P4 is equivalent to triangle OP1P3. So if it is so, that means P2P4, this length, P2P4, this length is equal to P1P3, this length, right? So now see P2P4. What is P2P4? This is P2's coordinates are given and P4 coordinates are given. As per coordinate geometry, the distance between 2 points is given by this formula: x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. If we put the respective value, it will be 1 minus cos A plus B whole square plus 0 minus sin A plus B whole square. That will be the P2, P4 whole square. Similarly, P1 and P3, what will be the distance, square of the distance? Square of the distance will be cos A minus cos B plus sin A minus sin B. So this you have to note. Sin A minus of sin B. So it will become cos A minus cos B whole square plus sin A plus sin B whole square. Now these two are equal, so that means this expression is equal to this expression. This is the key of the fact. So this expression is equal to this expression. So I'll wrap the rest of the things and I'll just write this expression and try to simplify. So when we equate the expression, the expression will become like this: 1 minus cos A plus B whole square plus sin A plus B square is equal to cos A minus cos B whole square plus sin A plus sin B whole square. Now let us simplify the terms. So when we expand the expressions, this 1 minus cos A plus B whole square will be 1 minus 2 cos A plus B plus cos square A plus B, and this will become sin square A plus B. So this will be the left hand side, and the right hand side will be cos square A plus cos square B minus 2 cos A cos B plus sin square A plus sin square B plus 2 sin A sin B. Now the interesting part is that cos square A plus B sin square A plus B is cos square theta plus sin square theta is equal to 1. So it will be 1 plus 1, 2. 2 minus 2 cos A plus B will be, here also on the right hand side, if you see cos square A sin square A will be 2. Sorry, cos square A plus sin square will be 1, and cos square B plus sin square will be another one. So again it will be 1 plus 1 minus 2 cos A cos B plus 2 sin A sin b. Right? Now this 2 and 2 will get cancelled each other, so it will become minus 2 cos a plus b is equal to minus 2 cos a cos b plus 2 sin a sin b. Right? Minus 2 cos a plus b. Let's take minus 2 common, it will be cos a cos b. Since we have taken minus 2 as a common factor, so plus will become minus sin a sin b. Now minus 2, if we divide by minus 2 both the side, it will become cos a plus b is equal to cos a cos b minus sin a sin b. Now for trigonometric identities, this is one of the basic trigonometric identities. So cos a plus b is equal to cos a cos b minus sin a sin b. That is, cosine of sum of two angles is cosine of those individual product of the cosines of those two individual angles minus sine of these two individual angles, product of the sine of those two individual angles. And as you can see, it also goes as per our expectation, because value of cos when a plus b increases, the angle value increases, the cosine of the value of the cosine of that angle decreases. So that is given by this minus. So bigger the angle, lower the value of the cosine of that angle. Now this we have proved for two angles, both are in the first quadrant and their sum is also in the first quadrant. But as a generic thing, if you work out any kind of angle, whether the sum of the angle falls in first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant or fourth quadrant, the equation will not change, equation will remain same. Now using the first identity, that is sine of minus x is equal to sine x, which we have used here also, and cos of x is equal to cos of minus x, and this identity cos a plus b cos a cos b minus sin a sin b, using these two we will be deriving so many other identities just by substituting the respective value of a and b. That I will come to show now.